they added a clause here. So
Where's
the
the clause
DOJ does the review, right?
Yeah.
And under one of the clauses,
They can fight for it, which makes them what I don't understand, because they're supposed to be impartial.
exceeds the mandate of their office. The government collective has overstepped its purview and can demonstrably be shown to be imposing its influence outside of a just interpretation of their purpose and function. That is so fucking vague that they've weaponized assumption policing. So the way this reads is, I think this needs a review, a legislative review. To me, that this says that, Fred, if you become mayor and you're showing too much influence over the BCSO and your thoughts, and they're like, yeah, you know what, Pred, we agree, we're gonna line up with you, that you can be audited. And then it's up to the judge to be like whether or not they feel like you did or didn't. It's so fucking vague, it's stupid.
Well, what I don't understand is,
am I right or am I misreading?
All right, well, let's read it again. Let's read it one
Okay.
More time. Where is it at? Is it in the judicial powers codified? All right. Where is it under?
Oh, you don't know? Oh, no. Oh, you read something else. Give me a sec. Search for impeachments.
What is it?
Impeachments. There's 2 new pieces of legislation, but 3 have been updated. Search for legislations.
Impeachment authority conduct review.
Yep. So this has been updated. Now go ahead and read up to, like, read that thing fully, so you have an understanding of like who runs it, and then I'll point out the bit that's odd.
Well, I've already read it. I've read it a couple times.
Oh, you have? Wait, before or today?
Before today. So
okay.
The whole thing's been changed?
Correct. Do you have a way to do it?
Part?
Half this document is brand new.
Okay, I'll read the whole thing then.
Yeah. The new thing is the audit and the different things that can happen, and there's a new clause that is...
Are the justices senators, or are they justices supposed to be impartial to the law and legal interpretation? I don't understand, because they can change anything at a whim. They can they can grant themselves any power at a whim. They can be
exceeding the mandate of their office is the one that like strikes me as extremely bizarre and a dangerous line to have.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna read it.
I actually don't think it's that bad, but Nino's definitely like, what the fuck? These are the old ones, I believe. Wait, the state of senator may have a representative step in and oversee the hearing process.
Nino, did you hear me?
No, you didn't say anything.
Okay, so in the very beginning,
Yeah.
an authority conduct review is a hearing at which an individual's conduct may be brought into question and examined for any wrongdoing. It is used for cases where there might not be any criminal wrongdoing, but there is still misconduct in some form. What defines misconduct?
And it's defined later down in the document.
Okay, I'll keep reading.
Yeah. What is we'll see what the other updates are. That is the only bit that is odd to me. And the oddity is this is so open to interpretation. You know, the way that we're going to get this corrected is we file the shit out of it. We go ham on that. This is a very oddly thought out due to its vagueness, because exceeding the mandate of their office is very open-ended, because this literally describes what a politician does. You know? So when you couple the vagueness, it leaves like a, well, what the fuck is it then? You know what I mean? So I think that needs to be argued. Do 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 do. Honestly, this might be very, the issue is it's an opinion. It's so strange because it's an opinion based ruling that will be made. Loo-hoo-hoo. Let me see. Let's go read the other stuff while we're waiting. Oh my God, we know who's winning.
What do you mean we know who's winning?
You and I won the election.
How do you know we won the election?
Holy shit.
Oh, I guess you're... All right, I get it now. All right. But, I mean, this thing defines... here's the thing that I don't understand. Justice's role is basically defined when you read that legislation that they can be anything they want to be.
Exactly.
And change anything they want. So
they can... This
what
is
happened to being impartial and just overseeing law
brother,
for the people?
Yeah, this whole thing needs to be reviewed because the way I read this is judges and justices now have the power to use their opinion on someone's politics and remove them based on it. And the way that I derive that logic is as follows. If you read, the judges oversee this, and a conduct review has a line in there stating that exceeding the mandate of their office, the government collective has overstepped its purview and can demonstratively shown to be imposing its influence outside of a just interpretation of their purpose and function. A just interpretation of their purpose and function is undefined and therefore is an opinion of a judge. And influence is simply politics. So a judge can say, we think that you politic too much. Therefore, we are now going to remove you from office. And just because they claim that they might not doesn't mean that this document does not grant them those powers.
Well, how do you fight this, though? There's no way to fight. I mean, honestly, we should get the money now and contest this legislation.
Agreed. Luck, thank you for the 4 months. But please read consider what I said and tell me, am I right or am I overcooking?
Well, let me. All right, so I'm gonna finish reading it. All right,
yeah.
And then I'm on to like the final portion.
Yeah, let me take a look at that because it is literally opinion-based decision-making based not on law, but on feeling. I don't know what to... Oops. A mayor is only defined in the Constitution, though. I would say with it's in the scopes, the governance of Los Santos laws, and I just think that line needs to be better written to explain what it means, because it's so vague, it's open to not making any sense. Now, one would argue that a mayor is responsible for the governance of Los Santos law. This gives them the right to have authority over influencing the police department. But the problem is that the problem is that the vagality isn't about even the PD. It's about everything else. And because it's open to interpretation, it's strange.
So initial reviews are either denied or accepted by a justice.
Yep.
They just have complete power. It's do the people have no power in this society?
I think that entire line right there, the is just weird, because it's saying that we may think you're using your powers outside of being mayor by politicking, but that doesn't make any fucking sense. It's just way too vague. So what the fuck were they trying to say with that line? And the problem isn't who wrote it, it's about who interprets it in a year from now, right?
Well, the thing I don't understand, how many seating judges are there? I'm interpreting that there's only 3 seating judges.
There's 3
right?
justices, correct.
Yeah, justices. Here's what I don't understand. How can they oversee a legislation review if they all 3 already signed off on it as a collective? Isn't that in itself mean that they're biased? What is the how? This is why laws need to be defined by legal a different measure, and then interpreted by the justices, because now we're running into a whole mill of problems that just establishes bias and them already having direct involvement. So
imagine we are not on the same page, right, on something, and you start convincing people to vote a certain way, like towards my legislation. Like, is that illegal? Not like, can that get you fired?
I just don't understand.
It's too vague.
How do you? But here's the thing that I just don't understand. I've read both pieces. I haven't read the latest piece of legislation. All right. I've read the first one. I read the judicial powers codified, and that's concerning. But this is even more concerning because all 3 justices. How the fuck do you contest this? How the hell does this get contested in a non-biased format? They already signed off on it. That's where they fucked up. I just don't understand.
We have to file for contesting. I think that line needs to be removed. I mean, it's only $50,000 for us. You know what else I realized? Hold on. Here, keep doing your thing. Let me look something up before I say anything.
Well, guess what? San Andreas election procedures have been written into law.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, we did that. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. We kicked our feet. This is kind of why I tell people, like, they got to just not assume that someone needs to be this, that, and that. Our voices caused this to happen. And I've seen it myself. As long as you expose shit, people will fix shit. And if we're making them actually get things pen to paper, then good.
How the hell do we get an actual election committee brought in now, because they've defined it as like judge oversight?
That's always been a thing, but now at least it's defined out and not some bullshit. This document
is a guide on how the Department of Justice oversees the election process.
Yep.
So essentially, I mean,
by getting it to paper, Pred, right? We have done our job by exposing the problem, right? And in lieu of not wanting to get impeached, listen, when that letter was made, that was the notice to the DOJ. I can impeach you if you don't do something. They did something. Now that it's in legislation, we now have the ability, if there's problems with this legislation, we can now file for a contest about particular line items and justifications why, and have a hearing.
Yeah, but who's going to oversee the hearing, though? That's the thing. They're all biased. They already all signed off on this together. No, but brother, listen. Look, I'm more rosy tinted glasses than you might be, but
if let's say there was a segment in here that's bullshit, we expose it out. If they then go and make some dumbass ruling that makes no sense, you can then impeach them.
Yeah, but they oversee the impeachment process too.
Not if they're the ones. I see what you're saying. You are correct in that. Listen, there's other options. Can you there's keys that are there's ways. I don't want to say it out loud. There's something I want to tell you. Hey, Jack, can you give us a second?
Yeah. No, I can read the room, Nino. I can read the room.
Can you put earmuffs on?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay. All right. What up, chat? Oh, yeah. But the thing is, like, if we have these sex parties, I just... We just got to make sure we're doing better.
True. Everybody loves orgies.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? You know?
All right. So, did you read the San Andreas election procedures yet?
I did. Let me pull it back up. Hey, Bates, we're go. Oh, he's way the fuck up there. I'm too lazy.
Hey, Bates, we're good. Hey, Bates, we're good. You can come back.
I just didn't want to hear anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all right. Respect, big dog. Okay, so I still need to finish reading this.
I don't think this is that bad in the sense that there's measures in place to resolve this. Like, I'm not going to go on a limb and say someone that wrote a document may have not considered the vagueness of it when it was written, you know, and we just contest it. We point out that the vagueness of it is foolish and is counterproductive.
At any point of the process, the state of San Andreas may have a representative step in and oversee and/or participate in the hearing process.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
So, like, can you? I think these
Well,
little vagueness things need to be expanded out because the vagality of it is kind of like you can't. How do you read that in a like this is written in good faith? You know what I mean? Because to me, it sounds like we can bring in Clerk Eve Summers to help give her opinion on Pred, the mayor of Blaine County, and the influence he's having on, you know, the economy of Los Santos or over the Blaine County Sheriff's Office. You know what I mean? And while these might be
proving bias and getting it thrown out.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like the problem is the hypotheticals are not crazy, right? Like, what are they? How is anyone supposed to know what the fuck that is supposed to mean when it's that vague?
I got problems with a lot of this shit. I'm gonna be honest. I thought judges' jobs and justice's job was to oversee law and like the legislation process and like laws being changed and amended in accordance with the people and the you know, and the Constitution.
Bro,
and instead, what it just is it's
I'm starting to realize why I'm starting to realize why I got so much like pushback on some of the shit. Our shit was long as fuck too, but everything we did was like explicit. This is explicitly what you can do. This is explicitly, we introduced this whole concept of defining words in a glossary. So like even words could not be misinterpreted as to their meaning in the document. Like it's so.
I'm gonna go do a lap because I feel like I'm the donkey of the group right now.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
you're learning.
The starting point, Bates.
Oh, he's off like a true donkey.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
I mean, now the possible consequences of impeachments or authority conduct reviews. That means you can be removed to office due to your conduct as well.
Yeah, that's stupid. I think we contest that entire notion. I think we need to sit down. I don't want to do it today. We got shit on our plate. But I think we need to sit down and pull out aspects of this that don't make any sense, and we contest it.
God damn it, we gotta actually like do like a full review on lines and be like, what is the definition of this? Line this out, circle this, and be like,
yep,
what exactly? Who like is there a representative may step in? What is the qualities of a representative? What process are they involved? Do they have to have some sort of knowledge, or can you just pull anybody off to be a representative to oversee and participate in the hearing process? You know what I mean? Like, essentially, the justices could literally take a authoritative conduct review or impeachment, and what they could do is they could get a group of people who are against you and appoint them to oversee the hearing process. Like, for example, I could get in. There could be some type of fucking, let's be honest, people will probably be filing shit left and right.
There's another way we can do this.
Well, what they'll do is they'll get their authority conduct review team in to oversee, and it could be people like Andy Jones, Eve Summers, Sheriff Bones, like people who are all biased towards me.
They bring in Andy and say, hey, as the previous mayor, is Pred being mayoral-like in Blaine County with his conduct? Raiden, think of the 18 months. Parody, think of the 3 months. Luck, think of the 4 months. Kylo, 6 months. Muzz, think of the Prime sub. Dak, Maze, 4 months. Let's go. Yeah, it's unintentionally vague. Hey, I am so sorry. It's election day.
Nino?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Talk to me quick. And this isn't, I want to talk to you, but, you know, what's your ping number? And I'll ping you as soon as I'm free.
It's 8.
8?
If you're busy, it's fine.
8?
I can, yeah, 8, yes.
Okay.
If you're busy, it's fine. We can talk a different night, all right?
Okay.
Not too personal.
Let's do it after the election then.
All right, easy.
All right. I appreciate you. Take care.
Amen.
Yeah, I think, yeah. You know, there's this weird part of my body, Fred, where even right now, I'm like, this was probably written, there's probably certain lines in here that are unintentionally vague.
Well, it's a power grab. I mean,
that's what it feels like. Fuck. Why?
What's the point of even being a mayor?
I miss my old self.
Get it! I bet he's running the wrong way on the track, isn't he?
There's 2 ways we tackle this, right? One is contest it, circle the problems. Where is it vague? Where is it potentially unconstitutional? The alternative is we use this and start impeaching people. Filing conduct reviews.
It, that's for sure.
Yep.
But I mean,
and that forces it too.
Well, the people who, all right, so here's the thing, right? Essentially, as mayors, let's say me and you get in office tomorrow, right? We answer to the justices. They essentially, well, I mean, that's what it looks like because they have full authoritative say over everything.
Yes.
Like, you know, like, of course we can do our own things, but at the end of the day, the justice system, which has been, I'm going to be honest with you, this entire system has been extremely biased towards me. All right, I have proof. It's very evident that the system's been biased towards me. How can I trust that they will handle things in good faith when it comes to coming to an agreement or some type of punishment over my shit when I've been treated so egregiously in the election process? Like, I've been treated egregiously the whole time. And here's the thing, this is just like an odd time for them to like assert their dominance. Is like when we're about to have a new mayor tomorrow. You know what I mean?
I agree with you. I don't want to You remember I've been through this for 3 months, so
yeah,
you know, understand that your passion was where I was at 3 months ago. I went through the grieving period, let's call it, and I've come to the realization is that the only recourse is exposing, screaming loudly about the problems, and in turn that's caused them to change. I imagine and have heard the amount of times people have said, impeach Nino, and I said, suck my dick, and they didn't do it once. And where I'm going with this, Pred, is that let them try. Let them try to assert their dominance while we pull away their powers by writing these letters, putting it out to the public. I mean, obviously, you and I are going to write it, having people do it on our behalf, and contesting on our behalf, and slowly chipping away at the powers and keeping them in place. Because we do have the weapon of contest legislation and the empower impeachment just as they do.
I'm having an important meeting right now, Alonzo. What's going on? All right. Oh, did you get it? outside of the. Well, I mean, I've seen Eve outside of the BCSO sheriff's office a bunch of times. Perfect. Bye. Yeah, I'm confused because now it's like I get in office, I'm gonna have to fucking fight a lengthy battle. I mean, here's the thing, that the way I look at it is, in the swipe of a pen, more power has been created, more power has been given to these people by these people, all right, and more, I just don't understand. I'm gonna have to be,
I actually disagree with you, and I'm going to tell you why. Because in the last 3 months, because things were not defined, every single day I had to fear impeachment because there was nothing written down. And now that there is, I have something in writing to fight against. I was fighting shadows before. Now we know what the enemy has.
So their own, wait, so you're right. So their own, they may have fucked themselves by fucking codifying so much. Like, I just don't understand.
Exactly. Now there are parameters that they are in. We don't agree with those parameters, and we have a vehicle of contesting that allows us to change those parameters.
You get your people to look into the Constitution as opposed to this legislation. I'll do the same. And then what we do is, like, hopefully tomorrow we can have in 24 hours, we can have a conversation about this before like any inauguration or anything.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, if even one thing conflicts with the Constitution, the entire thing is fucked.
So based on the BCSO and LSPD contest, what happens is, okay, first off, they're not following their own legislation. So be prepared for this. Because the legislation granted them the authority to say whether or not the contest indicated whether something is constitutional or not. Justice Hott did not conclude on that. She instead said, I don't agree with your suggestion, so I'm going to do what I think is right, and then went with Daisy's suggestion anyways. So when you contest something, you're contesting segments of the document, not the entirety of the document, unless the opening of the document is unconstitutional, which in this case it's not. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it's just saying yeah, but I know we've both got a lot on our minds, so
I did just say yeah without really, my bad.
Listen, no, it's okay. Listen, I do the same thing.
I'm just trying to think of like a battle plan. You know what I mean?
We have to win the election, Fred. Let's deal with this come Tuesday. We win. Monday, we start cooking. Keep that suck my dick energy. Let them come after us shit. And then this week, let's start putting the right people to start reviewing this.
Before we separate, let me ask you if you agree with this battle plan currently, okay? I need to win over the people the second I get in office.
Yes.
All right? I start doing job interviews for like legislation positions. I make people aware of the multiple committees, right? You know, I break bread with a lot of people and tell them thanks for the support and shit like that.
Sign 3 pieces of my legislation in, easy ones like G6, for example, right?
Does G6 go up north?
It does, and she never signed it. It protects G6 from protecting themselves.
Okay, so
yeah. So like day one, hey, I'm signing this as well, right? So it's a sign of like, hey, we're working together. The rest of it, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like we give a fuck, like, but it doesn't need to happen right away.
I get like the lottery stuff, like make people aware of that, form the committee, start getting the legislation team to start working around the Blaine County lottery. The free business licenses, you know, I fucking get a few business licenses given out. And, you know, oversee the businesses, get the information. Am I able to get the information on who owns buildings? Like, am I able to get that once I become mayor?
We don't have access.
So I can't even get that from a judge or a justice. I can't.
I
be like, hey, who
witnessed
owns this
cops
property?
trying to conduct a raid and not figure out who owns a property.
Okay, well, how do you conduct a raid if you don't know who owns a property? I don't understand. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
You know, it's
lock it
crazy.
down,
You
find
know,
out.
if I was a justice, I feel like I would have thought through these like questions and came up with solutions before the problem presented itself. You know, it's almost like some of the legislation I've written that people have such a problem with, like, oh my God, it's not even here yet, is like because it's called forethought. You know what I mean? And forethought is not a commodity that is readily available in San Andreas. So
Agreed. So you want to meet up tomorrow and then we'll discuss battle plans and stuff?
yeah, I think I agree. Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
All right.
And then I'm gonna head out of here.
All right. You take
And
care.
I'll start formulating my battle plan. See you later, Nino. We got a long fight ahead of us.
That we do.
I was
Just
looking
make
forward to
sure
fighting you. I was looking
delegation.
forward to us fighting each other.
Delegation is key.
No, that's my best friend. Yeah, delegation's key to everything in life I've ever done.
Otherwise, you know, if everyone's waiting on you, nothing gets done. That's why I can go away for 2 weeks and I come back and there's a bunch of shit ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'm gonna make sure. That's why I'm getting like the legislative team and like all the committees on board. But I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be looking at my phone.
Yep.
I look at a picture of the bathroom on my phone then.
All right. Mayoral candidate